Another interview segment is upon us, and you'll find this very interesting because you ought to know your money matters. And you know what? This pandemic has put many individuals under some financial constraint, with some resorting to using their credit cards to help manage those responsibilities. During the festive season, many people also use credit cards as a crutch to sort of help them with holiday expenses. But this can sometimes bring more financial problems if not properly managed. We're joined at this time by my good friend and financial consultant, Delroy A Josephs, who's our guest on the telephone to educate us on how to manage credit card debt. Good morning, Delroy. How are you doing today?
Hey, morning, Richie.
All is well, sir?
Very well. Very well.
Oh, glad to hear that, Delroy. I want to start off this morning by asking you to tell us about the pros and cons of owning a credit card.
All right. I first need to say thank you to all your guests that is on this morning and all the listeners. The first thing I want to do now is to define a credit card. Because if we don't understand the makeup of a credit card, that's why it is misused so much.
Okay.
Right? So I want to define a credit card as a revolving, usually unsecured facility with rates higher than a regular demand loan, overdraft facility, or even a consumer loan. And this facility requires very disciplined approach to credit by the user. And that is basically how we define a credit card.
Okay, got that.
All right. Now, some of the pros that we are looking on is that Christmas, especially now, is not a license to just run ahead and be infected with a spending habit to just go and just use a card. December is the only month that you will find, Richie, people buying gifts 3 times. They buy for an anniversary, they buy for a birthday, and they buy because it's Xmas. No other month you find one person might buy 3 gifts for one person. So because you have this liquidity now at your fingertip, you choose to just spend, and it is unplanned. Right? So that is what we don't want person to do, because they already know that, So it's not even that we are educating, we are just reminding persons of these things. So don't be tempted to go and spend because you see a special deal.
Because what you spend will have to be paid back.
What you spend will have to be paid back. There's not no if nor but about it. Right? You need to ensure that the amount you are spending monthly on that card, you are able to cover it when the statement date come back to you.
And that is usually within a month.
That is usually within a 45 days or somewhere thereabout. Right? So remember now, we have to keep it real. We're not so disciplined to do it, but you have to try. Because the moment you make that card max out, and you know what I mean by max out, it is very difficult to liquidate the monthly payment. And then you have a high interest on fees.
The interest rate is quite high.
Yes, because they're unsecured debt.
And generally, unsecured debts carry a higher rate of interest.
A higher risk is a higher risk level. But Richie, that credit card might be the best form of debt, though. Because, we have good debt and bad debt,
Explain that, Delroy.
If you are able to use that credit card within that cycle and you pay it back, you don't spend $1 to the credit card in interest or fees. The only thing you pay is your annual fees. You have control over how much you spend off that card every single month. And you can use it for free. Perfect example, I have 2 cards with me. And you see, one, up to now, the credit card company is not able to get a dime from me because I pay it every month. But we have to keep it real. There is one where, them get some fees and things because it's lack of discipline.
It sounds like you're talking my business when you talk about not a dollar being earned by the supplier because it's paid off. That is the way you ought to get to that stage at some point if you can, where you make sure you use it and then you clear it, and so you don't have the interest to pay.
You see, the reason why persons run into problem and can't pay, is that there's this thing that you call like cashback. and you're tempted to go spend because you want the cash back, but you might be surprised to know that the fees that you have to pay and that when you don't clear the bill, it's far more than the cash back that you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it come back again to discipline. But we are human beings. We're not we'd not be talking about this if we were doing it every single day.
Yeah.
And people would not be complaining how credit card is the worst debt. It's not the worst. It might just be the best debt you can find.
Can owning a credit card help one to build a good credit history?
Yes, man. Yes, man. Because as I said, I have one that is run perfect. And the other one, I have to pay fees and charges. so I'm giving you real, and I think I understand money. So I'm saying we are not that disciplined, and that's the only reason.
Yeah.
we see a special, and we run to the special. But spend because you have a need to, not because you have a want. Especially during this time. Don't see the sale and say, boy, I want it. Because you go, you buy it, you put it down, and 9 months down the road, you still don't use it.
Let me ask you a question, Delroy. If you have a balance on a cycle, 1 month cycle of say $50,000, right? And you take in $30,000, you pay $30,000 of that. Are you still going to have to pay whatever the $50,000 whatever interest that would have accrued?
It depends on the bank, you know.
Okay.
Some say you have to clear the entire amount that was billed for the cycle. And the other is that you'll be paying interest on the $20,000 that you left unpaid.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it varies from institution to institution.
It varies from institution. As a matter of fact, it's funny that you say that because even during this Christmas season, persons might want to say they're adding to their card to be able to benefit from the cash back based on the spending they are making. But you see, when you upload your money on your card, if you don't get permission from the bank, you know, chances that you will not be able to use the fund that you would think you have advanced on your own card in terms of a deposit.
So let's get back to it. What are some of the best ways to manage credit card debt?
All right. I'm going to do everything to pay the card down on a monthly basis. You must do that. The card, do not max out your card, because once you max out that card, you're going to have severe challenge to kind of clear it. Don't be tempted to spend because you're seeing a special. You must be able to cover the monthly payments. Right? Because you see, the interest in the billing cycle, that is where the crux comes in, you know, because the interest rate is so high, because you're talking about roughly 40% and above compared to the regular demand loan of, say, probably 15, 18, 18, 20. So just understand the maths right there and then. It's crazy.
What do you say to persons who right now maybe spent heavily Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales, and Christmas not come yet? What do you want to say to them this morning in terms of the way forward? All
right. You see, because you're spending small, you need to track what you're spending through the billing cycle. Because what will happen is that, A, you're going to get a decline on a transaction, you're going to come with a fee.
Yes.
And you might go over limit as well, comes with a fee. So they must track the spending that they are doing. And when you track it that way, when the bill comes, you know you have enough to cover the bill. So you don't have to be paying excess. That's what you need to do. You must track what they're spending.
Do you suggest persons also put funds toward the payment even before the cycle comes up to maybe ease the burden at the time? Yes?
Definitely, because you can keep, you don't have to wait one time to pay the credit card, you know. You can go in and pay this week, you pay next week. That's why I say you track your spending. And so your money comes, you can pay. So once the cycle, the expiration date, final date of payment comes, you clear the bill as much as you can. I try to clear it in full. And that is when you pay nothing. You laugh after the credit card company.
These are very, very important tips there you're sharing with us. I want to thank you. We're pretty much out of time. Anything else you wanted to add just before we wrap up?
Yes. I want them to also to protect the security of their card.
Key.
Because you don't just use it online at any site and all of those things. Know where you're spending, you're using your card. It's very important during this time because the fraudsters are out there. They are looking out for you, believe it or not. So protect your card depending on where you're using it.
Very, very important. Where can I find you? Still posting up Know Your Money Matters and so on?
Why, Richie, when I came on your program first, I think I had about 20 followers. Now I'm over 400.
Wow.
So
that's good going. Know Your Money Matters. You can catch it on IG and all these places. Thank you very much, Delroy A Josephs. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to your postings every week, sometimes more than once per week. But we appreciate it, and thanks for the information you shared this today as well.
I appreciate it.
Take care, bro.
Be safe during this period.
You too.
And spend wisely.
Most definitely. Thank you very much. Delroy A Josephs, ladies and gentlemen, a financial consultant, and he spoke to us this morning about the whole matter of managing your credit card debt and how you can ensure that if you're disciplined enough, you can only pay that renewal fee year in, year out, and no other fee the institution will get from you if you manage your card properly. That is key.